Grade 7. I hope you're doing well and your families are in good health too. Today we are going to explain and discuss Chapter 7 of our novel for this year, The Prisoner of Zenda. The main points in this chapter are police reports, love confession and the nobility, a journey to save the king, and the castle of Terlenheim. As we all know, Chapter 6 finished with the struggle and the fight between Rodolphe, Antoine de Mauban, and Sept against Michael's men at the summer house. At last, Rodolphe succeeded to escape and back to the palace. The next day, Sept read Rassendyll the latest report from the chief of police. The Duke Michael of Strelso, or the Duke of Strelso, Duke Michael, left the capital by the road to Zenda, followed by Dugutet, Personnel, and Ditchard, who had a bandage around his arm. And of course we knew this bandage or this wound because of the fight at the summer house. So Rassendyll's shot had been a good one. This was what the first report included. What about the second report? The second report talked about the king's marriage. The people of Strelso were so happy to hear that the king would make an announcement regarding his marriage to Princess Flavia. And people said that if the king didn't marry the princess soon, it would be better if the princess married the Duke of Strelso or the Black Michael. But actually, Rodolphe wasn't so happy, because he didn't want to undertake this duty on behalf of the king. Moreover, Fritz informed Rodolphe that the princess was upset because he had been neglecting her, and that was the reason for the marriage announcement. But Rodolphe, as I told you before, he didn't want to hurt the princess because he was falling in love with her. But as we all know, he is not the real king. Rassendyll was surprised that Fritz had prepared a ball or a dance and a party in which Sept thought Rassendyll had to ask the princess to marry him. The party or the dance was a magnificent affair, and at the grand opening, Rodolphe and Flavia danced together, not once but twice. Sometimes it was hard for Rodolphe to remember that he was not the real king, and that he had no right to have romantic feeling for the princess. Rodolphe surprised everyone in the dance and gave Flavia a chain with a red rose and put it around her neck. And of course, the guests were delighted that the king had at last made his movement. Rodolphe led Flavia away from the crowd and told her that he loved her. She confessed that she too loved him, but only since the coronation. Rodolphe was delighted with her declaration and began to tell her the truth. He was not the real king, especially after Flavia assured that she loves him, whether he is a king or not. Before he completed his words, he looked up and jumped with a fright because Sept's face suddenly appeared at the window. Sept came and told him that the Lord wants to see him. They returned to the dance or the party, and Rodolphe went out to the front gate to hand Princess Flavia into her carriage. The next morning, Sept, Fritz, and Rodolphe sat on Rodolphe's room thinking about what to do next, and they decided to crush and attack Black Michael and bring the real king back. Rodolphe met Flavia to inform her that he was going on a hunting trip to Zenda to hunt wild pigs. Of course he means Michael and his men. Flavia wasn't happy and worried about Rodolphe, and she was upset that the man she loved was going off and leaving her. As we all know, Rodolphe wanted to go to save the king and Britannia too, so Rodolphe appears to be brave, responsible to sacrifice his soul to save the king. The journey starts. The next day, Rodolphe, Sept, and Fritz and 10 men were chosen for the present affair. They had been told that the summer house was attacked and Duke Michael was trying to take the throne from the king. And also, most importantly, friend of the king was a prisoner in the castle of Zenda. And that is one of the reasons of the journey, to save him, and they believe it. They left toward the castle of Tillenheim. They didn't go directly to Michael's castle. They went to Fritz's uncle's castle in Tillenheim. The castle of Tillenheim, which belonged to Fritz's uncle, it was a modern building, about 5 miles from Zenda, on the opposite side from that on which Michael's castle took place. It stood on the top of a hill with woods all around, in which wild pigs were known to be common. Of course, they chose this place to observe Black Michael within short distance from up a hill. They all know Black Michael wouldn't kill the real king or the Ethelbert king until he would kill Rodolphe Rassendyll. So the king will be safe for some time. Rodolphe thinks there should be a trick to fool Duke Michael. So what will this trick be? We are going to know in the next chapter. Thank you.